Today, Milan and Fern will explore entrepreneurship, authenticity, and the ever-evolving world of fashion. From the runway to the retail, from Philly to the world. And with that, I'm pleased to welcome to the stage Milan Harris and Fern Mallis.
Fireside chat, but this is not about me today. That's another day, another story, another time. We're here to explore and learn from Milan about her.
Can you pick up the mic?
Oh, can you? No. Did you all hear what I said already? Yes. Okay. We're here to talk to Milan and find out about her journey and her rise and kind of what Conrad said, how she, right here from Philly, created this unbelievable brand and what you all can learn from it. Now, can you all see her? Because that hat is putting a dark shadow on her face. Lift it up a little bit.
How about now?
Yeah. I mean, you look too good to be in the dark, and nobody can take pictures. They won't see your eyes. So fix that.
Thank you. Listen to the godmother. You gotta listen to the godmother.
Yeah, you gotta listen to me. Okay, so you were born and bred in Philly.
Yes, I was. West Philadelphia.
And where do you live and work now?
I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I have a headquarters in Atlanta.
That shadow is killing me. Is it killing you on her face?
So y'all, I would take off my hat, but obstacles. While I was getting, listen, y'all, my entire brand was built off obstacles. So of course it was obstacles yesterday. I was getting my hair braided, and the lady that was braiding my hair was pregnant. So she started having pain from fibroids, and she literally, I'm like, you got to go to the hospital. So I didn't get it finished. I got on my hat. I wasn't not going to show up.
What? Could you turn it around like the baseball players? Like put the brim in the back and put the.
How about this? Because it's not. You'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see that it's not that.
You got to keep your head up. All right.
Thank
okay.
you.
Tell us about your name, Milan. How did that happen? Your parents go to Italy or something?
No. So my real name is Janika Harris, and growing up, no one could pronounce my name. So when I got to college, and I grew up. I grew up in West Philly, so I used to get into a bunch of fights, and like I was going through a lot. And when I got to college, I remember Beyonce came out with the Sasha Fierce era, and she had her alter ego, and I'm like, I want an alter ego. So me and my friend, she came up with the name Milan, and I'm like, oh, I need a last name. And she was like, Rouge. I'm like, all right, like the Moulin Rouge. So that was my name, and I created a new identity with that. Because I grew up in the hood, naturally, like, I would just get into fights, and naturally, I would, like, succumb to my circumstances. And when I went to college, I realized, like, I want to create my own path. I don't have to be a product of my environment. I became a product of my decisions. So when I changed my name, it changed everything for me. And when I created Milano Di Rouge, I created big shoes for my brand.
All right, well, we'll get to all that.
Okay, got you.
But apropos of 2 panels ago, when you used the name Milan Di Rouge, did you very quickly copyright it and trademark it?
Yeah, so no, it wasn't quick. It was actually, I literally just got my trademark last year. I was fighting for my trademark for 10 years. 10 years I was fighting for my trademark. And every time, I just would not let it go. I kept applying, I kept reapplying, and I finally got it after 10 years because it was hard because of the city. Milano I mean,
Because
Milano,
of the
Italy.
city?
Yeah. So they were trying to figure out, like, did people know Milano Di Rouge outside of the city? And after 10 years, they figured it out.
So have you had the same lawyer for 10 years?
No, I kept going. If something ain't working, I'm going to pivot real quick. I kept going to more lawyers. I'm like, somebody got to get this. If Paris Hilton can trade Paris perfume, I can trade Milano Di Rouge.
Well, that's a good example to tell those people who do that.
Yep.
God knows who does that now. The Trump's probably eliminated that whole office. Okay, so Milan, you started selling T-shirts out of the trunk of your car, is what I read, in Philly. Take us back to those early days and what kept you going when you were just getting started. And you know that that's how Tommy Hilfiger started also, selling jeans out of the trunk of his car in Elmira, New York.
Wow. Yeah. So I started with 2 sweatshirts. I wore one and I sold the other one. And I used that money to buy 5 more. I post on Instagram and say, yo, I'm a designer. Anybody want to buy some shirts, text me. And I would drive around Philly delivering shirts out the trunk of my car in Conrad. Look at this trunk Conrad created. So when I walked in, I was like tearing up because it's just such a beautiful memory. And I remember, so as I was growing, as I was trying to grow, I started to like dedicate certain days to where I would deliver items, and then I started to dedicate certain days where I would work on the brand. And I remember, I'm like, all right, Tuesdays and Thursdays is gonna be my days I work on the brand. And I remember people was texting me and they're like, what you think, my money no good? Like, I'm like, no, I want your money, of course, but I wanna grow my brand. And I'm trying to figure out this thing out. Like, it wasn't no roadmap for me. I'm just trial and error. I was on YouTube University, so I was just trying to figure it out.
YouTube University, I love that. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you clarified. I didn't know why this car fender was here. I thought this is a strange decoration for the stage, but it has meaning for you. So thank you, Conrad. Okay, so how did growing up in Philadelphia shape your vision, hustle, and entrepreneurial mindset?
Growing up in Philly, it's hard. It's not easy. So growing up in Philly, it just made me like, so I grew up in a single parent home. My father was incarcerated almost all my life. He got locked up when I was 10 months, came home when I was 10 years old, got locked back up when I was 12, and he's been locked up ever since. I was raised by my mom, and like, as you look at statistics, they show that I shouldn't be here. But by the grace of God, I am. And growing up in Philly, it just gave me that mindset that like, nothing can stop me. I came from the bottom. Like, I grew up literally in the bottom of West Philly, 38th and Reno. So it's like, once you come from the bottom, the only way to go is up. You don't lose. Like, you only win and you learn. And I feel like lessons can truly be blessings if you allow yourself to learn from them. And because I came from the bottom, every no, I've heard so many no's, that's just like literally another obstacle I'm going to overcome. And I feel like it really helped my mindset to realize like, nothing is impossible.
Did you have siblings growing up?
I have a sister. Yep, and we're really close.
Does she work with you? Or
Yeah, she works with me. Her and my mom both works with me.
And what did your mom do when you were growing up as a single mom?
So my mom actually was the reason why I knew that like anything was possible. My mom had 2 kids, single mom. She was a nursing aide. She was working with the mentally disabled, and she ended up going back to college. So she dropped out of school in the 9th grade when she had my sister because people were teasing her. And at the age of 28, she decided to change her life. So she went to school full-time and she worked full-time. And I remember watching her do it. And I'm like, if she could do that, 2 kids, single mom, what's stopping me? I don't have any kids. The only thing stopping me is me. And just knowing that, like, she sacrificed her life for me to dream. So I had to go hard. Nothing was stopping me. And she's a registered nurse. She has a master's degree in business.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Is she still here in Philly?
She lives in Atlanta with me.
She's moved to Atlanta. She lives with you?
Yep. Big house.
Big house. She's making good money. She could have a big house. Okay, you've said your mission is making dreams a reality. When did you first believe this dream of yours could be more than just a side hustle?
I believed it when I first created it. I set big shoes for Milano Di Rouge. And like, when I used to tell people, I know they thought I was crazy. When I started Milano, I used to do hair. I was a mediocre hairstylist, and people only came to me for like the advice, because I would talk to them while I was doing their hair. And I would take photos. When I started Milano, I was my model, I was the stylist, I was the photographer, videographer, web developer. I was doing every role. And any role, like any skill that I acquired while I was growing my brand, I would call myself this. So I was like, oh, I'm a photographer, y'all. Anybody want pictures for $50? Anybody want their website done? Because I was trying to make money at the same time. And I remember one girl was like, what? She's a photographer. She's calling herself a stylist. Which one is she? And I said, whichever one gonna make me my first million. So, and to be honest, all of those skills that I acquired along the way, it really helped enhance my brand. And when I started to hire people, I knew exactly what the role entailed. So I knew when they weren't doing a job. I knew when they were doing a job. It actually helped me to become a better person. So all of those things along the journey is really the journey. The joy is in the journey.
It's all about the journey.
Yeah.
Okay, you opened your first flagship boutique on Broad Street. What did that moment represent to you personally and for the Milano Di Rouge brand?
That moment for me, it represented a lot. It represented to me that like a young black girl from the hood could do anything. And I was proud of myself. I remember opening that store and trying to build my team. It was so many obstacles with opening that store. That was like one of the first times one of my friends saw me cry. And because it blood, sweat, and tears went into that. Like you think the journey is going to be straight, and
No
no,
way.
it's pivots, it's turns. That's literally what these lines represent on this dress. This is from the Journey collection. Like these lines, these are our journey lines. You think that the journey gonna be straight, and it's like, nope, pivot, obstacle. But I learned that obstacles are meant to be overcame. And opening that store, I knew that I did not want a mom and pop shop. I knew that I did not want to be just working in my shop, so I grew my team. I remember writing my last check and putting it in my Bible, March 2016. And I said, I'm not gonna pay myself. I'm gonna use all of the money that I make to invest in the company and invest in my team. And that's what I did. And it wasn't until March 2017 that I cashed that check that I put in my Bible.
So how many years did they keep that check?
For 1 year.
1
year, because of y'all, the people, like y'all was supporting Milano Di Rouge like crazy. I appreciate y'all. So I didn't know what I was doing, but y'all was supporting and y'all
But they
helped me
liked
figure
it.
it out. Yeah.
Is the store still there?
So I closed the store, and so during COVID we closed, and then we reopened in 2022, and I closed it in 2023 because I bought a building like 2 doors down, and I didn't want to put no more money into the store that I currently had because I didn't own it. And the building that I bought, they were just giving me such a hard time with zoning, and they still giving me such a hard time. And I'm like, okay, until I get this building zoned, this store don't currently represent where we are as a brand. And I don't want to reinvest any more money in it. And once this other building is zoned, I'm going to put Milano Di Rouge back there.
And
We're still in the process of it.
so you're still working on getting the
The building zone, yes.
zoned?
Yeah, zoning, yeah.
So it's not zoned for
It's not
commercial?
zoned for,
real-
no, it's mixed use, but it's not, we're trying to build, we want a bi-level store, and we want to build another floor. So we got to go through a lot of process.
So you still have another tough lawyer to work with that.
Yes. Another obstacle.
So any prognosis of when that might be?
So we got to go through the historical committee.
Ooh.
Yeah, they don't really want us to build up.
And if you can't build up, what will you do?
If I can't build up, I'm trying to see. I may open a store in Atlanta first and then come back to Philly and do a store, probably not there. I may just rent that building out. It's worth a lot of money now.
Yeah, you've probably made a
yeah.
lot of money on the real estate.
Yeah, for sure. And then I'll just probably see where else I would go out here in Philly, because I definitely want to have my roots here.
So you don't have any retail stores at the moment?
Everything is online.
Online?
The biggest store in the world.
It's a good way to
No
describe it.
overhead.
And it's MilanoDiRouge.com?
Yes.
And that's where everybody shops?
Yes.
And on Instagram?
Yeah,
you-
so
can
you
you-
can shop from TikTok Shop, TikTok Live, and Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so how did your time at the Philadelphia Fashion Incubator, who is our host today of creating this event, in 2015 shape your brand and business strategy?
I feel like I learned the business beyond the business. Like, I was in hustle mode when I first went to the fashion incubator. I remember my first day applying. It was in Macy's, so we were inside of like the customer service department, and there was this little old lady, and my clothes was on a rack, and I remember she was like, "Ooh, these clothes are hideous," and I'm like, she was a customer though. She was just going to like put in a complaint. I'm like, oh my God, I know I'm not gonna make it into this program now. Oh my God, I'm ready to leave. But by the grace of God, I was selected. And I learned so much about the business. I remember being in that program, taking so many notes. And at the time, some of the advice that was given didn't even apply to me. But I would take so many notes because I knew that one day it would. And I would also share the resources with anybody that I was building at the time. Yeah, I learned so much.
Is there one thing that stays with you that you say, I learned that there?
Yeah, just knowing like how the resources from the city. So I remember they had some of the city officials come and just showing like, it's like a camera security program. So I'm trying to figure out paying for my cameras, how I'm gonna pay for my cameras, and the city will pay for your cameras. The city will pay for the front of your exterior in your store to get done. The city will pay for some of the interior in your store to get done. I didn't realize how many resources was out there, to be honest. So it was just so many resources that I've gotten from there.
Yeah, it's been my experience that the Philly community and city has been very supportive of the fashion industry here. In all the years I've been coming to Philly Fashion Week, there's so many opportunities. So that's great that you learned that and took advantage of it.
Well, I didn't take advantage of it because,
Not yet, but
because I'm a Taurus, and I'm just like, when I want something, I just do it because it's a process. So, but if y'all do want it, y'all gotta know that it's a process, but y'all can start the process now. But once I knew it was a process, I'm like, all right, I'll do it later. I'll just pay for it on the front end, but yeah.
Fantastic. You built Milano Di Rouge into a streetwear powerhouse. How do you define luxury in the context of your brand?
It's the experience, it's the quality. I don't know if anybody in this audience ever experienced Milano Di Rouge, but the quality is top tier. People say it feel like a warm hug. Like our denim, we get our denim from Italy. The quality of our clothing is phenomenal. Like, I don't know, is there any Milano dreamers here? Yeah, y'all can speak on the quality, right? And before, the quality wasn't that great, so we had supporters when it wasn't that good. And I knew like, okay, I didn't let that stop me, because sometimes people want to have things so perfect before they can start. And I know people now that from 2012 when I first started that was supposed to start with me, they still didn't start because they want things so perfect. I just started, and I learned as I went. And I thank y'all for supporting me when the quality wasn't that great, when it was just a message. Y'all believed when it wasn't the best, and y'all was a part of the journey, and y'all watched it grow.
That's brave of you to keep going out there while you're still refining it and working through it all.
And I was criticized too.
Well, who doesn't get criticized?
Exactly. Yep.
I
The
mean,
best.
Yeah. Okay, you're not just building a brand, you're building a community. Why has giving back, especially to students and moms, been such a vital part of your business from the beginning?
So the way my mom raised me, we always gave back. Even when we didn't have much, we would literally just, even like our old clothes, our old shoes, we'll make sure, like we wipe them down, put them in, make sure they was up to par, and we'll go back and give them to the Goodwill. So like I was just always raised to give back. I felt like God blessed me to be a blessing to others. So it's only right that I give back.
Good for you. Can you also share what inspired you to start the Mamair?
The Mamair Club.
Say that again?
Mamair Club.
Mamair. That's a hard word, Mamair. Can you all say that?
The Mamair Club. I started the Mamair Club when I was pregnant with my son. I was learning so much, and I didn't realize how many options that we had. Like growing up in the hood, options not really presented to you. You just feel like you got to follow suit with whatever people say you got to do. And as I started to do my research, I'm like, okay, a lot of people could benefit from this information that I'm researching. So I would just share all of the information that I was learning so other people can realize that they got options. It don't matter where you're from. It don't matter what your income level is. You got options.
So describe what the Mamair Club is.
So the Mamair Club is a club for moms that's on a mission to make their dreams a reality. A lot of times when you have kids, you feel like your world is over. And no, that's when your world just began. Because like, the true blessing to your children is a mom that's fulfilled, So I don't believe in stopping your dream for anything. You got to figure out how to balance both. And I don't like to say balance, because when you think of balance, you're thinking like this, right? And you just never really steady. I like to harmonize, like see how it can all flow together. And I just think that as a mom, you don't have to stop your life. Men don't stop their life when they have kids. That's when they go harder. And I feel like we can do the same thing too. So that was that. It was just to encourage moms. You got this. Listen, you got this. You done birthed a whole human and you figured it out. That's the hardest job in the world. Nobody ain't tell me that. You have to figure that out. I'm sure you could figure this business out, you know?
You know, you have Wharton in this city. I think she's at her own Wharton Business School here. You should be doing a case study there if they haven't invited you yet.
That would be nice. I did want to get an honorary degree. I hear if you ask for things that come true. God, are you listening?
Somebody in this room must have a contact. So we'll follow through on that.
Y'all hear the godmother?
So how old is your son now?
He's 4, about to be 5 years old.
Any more in the?
Not until I'm married.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that'll be a Papa Year Club or something? Okay. You've been intentional about storytelling and showing the behind the scenes of your journey. Why was that transparency so important to you?
Because I believe that people want to be like the most successful people they see. Again, I'm always going to go back to my roots. Like growing up in the hood, a lot of people aspire to be drug dealers or CNAs and COs. Those were the 3 jobs that I hear most people around me growing up wanted to be. And that's because those were the most successful people they saw, you know? So like when you are in the hood, those are the lifestyles that afford you to live good, but you're still in the hood. So like naturally, you want to be like the most successful people you see. And once I got on Instagram and I started to see like the girl bosses, the Mings, the Karen Civils, they was buying Bentleys and they was like getting mansions. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's another level. I didn't see that. And when you don't see it, you don't know that
You
it's
can't
possible.
believe it, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I want to share my journey. I want people to know what's possible. And when you see a young black girl from the hood doing it, you're like, okay, I can see myself in her. And if she did it, I can do it too. I was very intentional about doing that, and that was my goal. It was always my goal to be able to inspire people, because I feel like it's so much talent in the hood, and I think we get overlooked. And I think that we just don't know what's possible. If we did know what's possible, man, we would unlock. It would unlock another, I'm telling y'all. That's why I'm happy y'all here. I want y'all to be here. Don't just be here to be here. Take notes and apply it, because you got to go home and you got to change your family.
Who are some of the other people you would?
Seriously.
Who are some of the other people you aspired to follow in their tracks?
Beyonce. Yo, and I tell you, because I just see how hard she worked, and I just feel like, yo, like, Beyonce, she doing it, she's changing the game. And the way she changed the game, the way she inspired me, the way, like, just watching, like, whenever I do a fashion show, I will watch her videos and just see, like, I watch her documentaries, and it just pumped me up, like, all right, cool, I'm about to take this, I'm about to do this, I'm gonna make this happen. And I remember having a fashion show. I had a sold-out fashion show with 2 sweatshirts. Like, literally just walking down the aisle, and I was mixing and matching with different pieces, and I sold tickets, and it was just like.
So how many times did those 2 sweatshirts walk down the aisle?
All like, back and forth. But it was 2 designs, sweatshirts and t-shirts, and I would just like mix and match with like suits and just showing you that you could wear this t-shirt and sweatshirt with anything. I had such a belief in myself that I didn't care what no one thought of me. And you gotta be like, people can say you're crazy, but you gotta be crazy to believe in a dream that nobody else can see.
QVC, you're crazy if you don't take her.
We're just over here nodding, like, she's killing the game.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You're just so authentic and so transparent.
She can sell anything.
Which is so nice.
Thank you so much.
She can sell anything. I want credit for signing her up. Okay, let's see, where am I here? Storytelling. Okay, collaborations. You've collaborated with athletes, artists, and influencers. How have they helped shape the voice of your brand? But before you answer that, I'm going to go back to Beyonce, because when I was at the CFDA, we used to have the CFDA Awards, and there'd be an after party for the younger ticket buyers, and we always had some entertainment. And we had Destiny's Child when nobody knew who they were.
Wow.
Nobody. And
Wow.
it was like, who is this group? And they all could not have been sweeter.
Oh.
You know, years later, I did a fashion show on TV on Bravo. It was called Fashion Show, on the season between Project Runway being off the air because they were renegotiating. So it was Isaac Mizrahi, Kelly Rowland, and myself were the judges for this series. And Kelly has been just a sweetheart and a friend.
Oh,
So-
I love Kelly, yeah.
Yeah, so
wow, that's amazing.
That's my little Beyonce story.
Wow, that's so dope.
Okay, back to now the athletes, artists, influencers who've helped shape the voice of your brand. Tell us about some of those.
Yo, so I don't care about hearing no. I will be DMing like celebrities, artists, anybody like, hey, I have this brand, Milano Di Rouge. It means making dreams reality. That's what you're doing. Can I send you a package? And some people say yes, we send it to them. Some people say no. Some people years later, they will. I remember one artist DM'd me like 4 years later, like, you still got that package? I said, I sure do. So yeah, I would just message people like, hey, I'm trying to get my brand out here. Like you never know how that go. But I feel like more importantly, showing the customers. I always spotted in Milano with my customers, and people, like, you know, representation matters. So when they see different people, different sizes, it really helped grow the brand.
So if I DM you, you'll send me a package of clothes?
Absolutely, I'll send you a package. Call my people. Absolutely, I would love to have you in some Milano.
I look forward to that. Okay, you have over, I don't know if this is still the number, it's probably increased since this was typed. You have over 1.4 million Instagram followers.
Yes.
What advice do you have for creatives trying to build a personal brand that feels both authentic and aspirational?
I feel like the most important thing when building a brand that's authentic is make it truly authentic to who you are. Like everything that you love, put it into your brand. When I started Milano Di Rouge, I didn't really just start selling shirts. I sold an experience. Like everything I genuinely love, I made it a part of my brand. I always wanted to have my own magazine. So we created an app. And with the app, we share motivational advice every morning at 10 a.m., you're going to get motivational advice. I love to entertain. So we had a fashion show every year, except a few years because of COVID, but we had a fashion show every year. I love poetry. Like people from the hood, like we didn't really get to experience poetry. And I'm like, all right, we gotta have this poet because I know that we would love it. So everything that I genuinely love, I tied it into my brand. So that way I can love waking up in the morning to do it, you know? When I don't feel well, I'm working hard because I genuinely love what I'm doing. So the authenticity is because I made it me. And every obstacle, every challenge, I just embraced it and I shared it, you know? It was a part of the journey. So like whatever it is that you're doing, if you want it to be authentic to who you are, you don't necessarily have to have a brand that represent you, but if you do, just tie in the things and the elements that you love. Like sometimes people will be like, people won't understand this, but your vibe will help you find your tribe.
Your vibe will help you find your tribe. Write that down. That's a good one. Okay, you said you got up early in the morning doing that. Tell me about when you showed up at 6:30 for a photo shoot in New York.
Oh yeah, Elisa just reminded me. So we went to, with the Philly Fashion Incubator, we had a trip to, what was the name of that place? Fashion Snoops. So we had a trip to Fashion Snoops to New York City. And when I found out that we're going somewhere, I still do this to this day. When I found out that we're going to be in another city, I'm like, okay, I need to turn this into a business opportunity. And so I drove over the day before and I planned a photo shoot, probably within like a few days. I planned a photo shoot and we got up at 6 a.m. We started shooting on a subway in New York City. And right after the photo shoot, I darted to the program. I had to be there by like 9 a.m. and we just got it done. Like, I feel like I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to maximize every opportunity. We had to find models in New York City. We just calling in the middle of the night, hey, are you available? Models canceled on us, but we got it done. And like, even now, when I just went to Lake Como for my girlfriend's wedding, we did a photo shoot in Italy. We just was in Tokyo, I did a photo shoot in Tokyo. I'm literally like, hey, Milano Di Rouge is going to experience the world, and everybody going to experience it through our lens, so.
Fantastic. What is something you learned the hard way that you now consider a core business lesson?
I'm actually learning it right now. Just being on top of everything. Like, when I started Milano Di Rouge, I didn't set out to be a CEO. I'm just a hustler, you know? Like, I just wanted to work hard and build my brand. But becoming a CEO, being a CEO, it requires a different level of attention. And being on top of your numbers is so important. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep, how much money you can reinvest. So being on top of your accountants, being on top of your lawyers, learning what they learn. At first, I just looked at accountants like a dentist, right? Your dentist said you got a cavity, okay, cool, fix it. Your accountant, that's a different story. No, you gotta be right there on top of them. Like, don't just really sit and take the time to learn. I love the creative part, right? I love the photo shoots. I love the fashion shows. But when you're responsible for feeding so many people, you got to make sure you know them numbers. You got to be on top of your game. Like, things look good on Instagram, but you got to make sure things is good behind the scenes as well. So just being on top of your stuff, taking the time to learn it. Like, even if it take an extra hour to sit down, like, hey, I need to understand exactly what this is. Being on top of your bankers, like, knowing that, like, they got your money, they owe you the explanation. They got to tell you what they're doing with it, you know? And not just having your money sit. Like, invest your money. Get stocks and bonds and, you know, like, municipal bonds. I'm learning so much different things about building wealth. And I feel like I was just doing it, and then I was like, all right, God sit me down. Real story, true story. February 17th, I fast. I went on a fast. I did a dance fast. And I prayed for clarity. I prayed for, God allowed me to be still. And by me being still, that was the first time I was still in probably like the last 12 years, because I'm always on go. My foot is always on the gas. So me being still, I'm like, all right, my foot is in neutral. And I'm allowing myself to be able to see everything for what it is and not me controlling the outcome. And me doing this is allowing me to see that, like, sometimes you got the wrong people in the wrong seats. Sometimes you got the wrong people on the wrong bus. It's like you got to reevaluate everything, and that's where I'm in my business right now, and just reevaluating things and just learning more. Like, I've learned so much in the past 3 months, and I've did over the past 12 years.
You should clap for what she's saying right now. I can't stress how important what she just said is, because so many creatives just want to be creative and they don't pay attention to the numbers. They don't even know how much it costs for them to make what they make, what the fabric costs, what the trim costs, what the time costs, what the people cost. And, you know, and they just arbitrarily will put a price tag on something. The numbers it's all about the numbers. I mean, if I had to do one thing over in my career again from the very beginning, I would have learned more about finance and the business. I always thought somebody else would worry about that. And she's so right. You have to take the time to learn that, to see the spreadsheets, understand them, and know what the accountants and the bookkeepers and the bankers are doing, because it's your money. Right. And right now, invest in real estate. Forget the stock market for a while. But, you know, because, yeah, keep the buildings. It's absolutely, because it's a rocky time, and that's something, you know, I don't even have that question in here because it wasn't an issue when I was writing this. Right. Like how you deal with now what's happening with the tariffs and with all the businesses, and do you make things overseas?
Yeah, we do make things overseas, and so I just hired this amazing company, DFMG, and they're like, okay, we gotta get our stuff out of China. We can't just rely on one country, you know.
Absolutely.
So we're looking at Bangladesh, Cambodia. We're looking at other places right now because, like, we didn't plan for it, you know. So
got to make it in that island with the penguins.
Yeah, so we're right now trying to pivot in this moment.
It's a very, very difficult time. So, I mean, it's great that you're addressing that, because I can't even imagine what some businesses are going through right now.
Right.
Okay, so, excuse me, the fashion world is changing fast, we all know that, and especially for emerging designers. What do you think the future of fashion looks like, and how can young creatives stay ahead of the game?
The future of fashion, AI is the future. I would say don't be scared of AI, embrace it. Get in front of it. It's going to happen regardless. So like the longer you take to adjust, the further behind you will be. Get on it, get in front of it, and you own it. And see how you can take advantage and maximize this. Because this is here to help. And if you look at it and you're scared of it, like, just don't be scared.
How do you use AI?
Yeah, so like ChatGPT, that's my therapist, my friend, my mentor, my manager, is everything. But like even now, like within like the last 2 days, you're able to even create graphics from ChatGPT. You're able to say like the type of design that's in your head, and it literally will pop right up. So it's a game changer. I don't want you guys to be afraid, you know? And I feel like people try to make you scared of things. And like, again, this is my hood mindset. It's like, all right, when somebody try to make me fearful, it's like, I don't like being fearful. Okay, how do I overcome this? Because if people are using it to their advantage, I'm gonna use it the same exact way. Like, okay, what can I do? And I know for graphic designers and artists, it may be tough. It's like, okay, figure out how to get in front of it, you know? Own it. Don't wait until the last minute. Don't be behind, because it's going to happen whether we like it or not, just like the internet. And guess what? We are the internet generation. We can't do nothing without it. And the people before us, they were like upset. I saw a news clip of people like, what is the internet? And I'm like, I don't want us to have that same mindset about this. I had arguments with friends telling them to use ChatGPT, and I'm like, okay. They want to use their brain, and I'm like, use your brain, but allow AI to like enhance what you want to do way quicker. So some people may not agree, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen regardless. So you either going to get with it or going to get left. You might as well get in front of this ship while it's moving.
Yep, it's an important ship. Okay, you created your own app, magazine, and runway shows. How do you keep innovating and evolving without losing your core message?
Man, I'm getting older, so now I got to be around younger people. But I think that is the key to life, being around younger people and being around older people. I feel like I'm getting wisdom from both, seeing what different people like, and I'm learning. And the more I learn, I feel like that's how I keep innovating. The more I learn, the more I apply it to my business. And like, that's our whole motto, still learning. And once you learn something, like you gotta share it. You gotta share it.
I'm not the HR department, but can I ask you how old you are?
35.
35. Very young. Okay. What does it mean to you to return to Philly and be celebrated by the same city your journey began in?
It means so much to me, y'all. My flight was canceled this morning, and this other flight was delayed. And I'm like, God, what are you trying to tell me? Like, should I not go? And I'm like, he basically told me, like, no, I'm telling you that, like, you got here by overcoming obstacles. This is just another one. So I'm just allowing that to continue to be a part of your story. And I'm like, I have to be in this room. Like, I said, I know it's probably one young girl in this audience that like need to see me, you know, that need to hear this message, that need to know that like, yo, if she did it, I can do it too. The only thing that's stopping me is me. And I don't want you to stop. Like, guys and girls in this audience, whatever it is that you want to do, just do it. Give it your all. And even if you fell fast, get back up and try it again, because now you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience.
Why is representation in fashion, especially for women of color, so important? And how can the industry continue to improve on that?
I think it's so important because representation matters. I feel like it's a seat at the table. Like, we all deserve a seat at the table. I think a lot of us can be overlooked, you know, or like a lot of our ideas, like people don't understand it. I was trying to be a part of the CFDA, and I'm like, they're not going to approve me, you know? But in even me trying to get into stores, it was like, I didn't know the way. And once I was trying and I heard no, it's like, okay, let me just figure out my own way. And that's what I did. But I think representation at these tables, it matters. I think we deserve to be in those rooms. I think we deserve to let the world see us. So because I thought it was so hard to do Fashion Week, I didn't know. Now I'm next to the godmother, so who knows? But I thought it was so hard, and because I feel like I feel like I didn't belong, I just created my own shows, and I would have shows every year, and they would be sold out shows, and it was like, people would be like, you gonna have a fashion show? You know New York Fashion Week free. I'm like, yeah, but I ain't got the New York Fashion Week money. I gotta pay these bills. I gotta pay for this building, so we gonna charge these tickets. But yeah.
Well, I'm not organizing it any longer, and nor is it organized, period, any longer. So the answer is, you can do a show in New York during New York Fashion Week and just do it wherever you want, when you want, and you will get on a calendar and you send out your things and you'll be there. I mean, there's no magic to it now.
Thank you.
Just do it.
Thank you. Yeah.
And with and with your spirit and energy, I mean, it will probably be a spectacular show. So just go for it. And if I can help in some ways, I'll be there.
I appreciate you.
My last question is, what advice would you give to aspiring designers in this room and entrepreneurs, especially those trying to grow from the ground up? I mean, I think you've said it all along, but maybe summarize it one last time.
Okay, yeah, I think I said it all along. I would just say go for it. Like, every no is a yes from God. Like, you got to understand that no's is really just like God telling you that's not that way, you know? It's a
No is
different
not
way.
no forever.
Exactly. It's another way to do it. And I would say have faith. Have faith. Faith got me this far. When I look back, I was talking to my homeboy, he got a company too, and I'm like, yo, how did we do this? Like, it's like nothing but the grace of God. So having faith is everything. And like, just believing when no one else believes, just keep going. In the middle of the night, when you got that idea, write it down. Wake up. I always just like to say, you go to sleep. I try to do my to-do list every night, so I can go to sleep with a goal and I wake up with a purpose. And just make sure you fulfill that purpose. God got you here for a reason. God gave you that dream for a reason. He
Go to
needs you
sleep
to
with a
birth it.
goal and wake up with a purpose. She's full of one-liners.
But seriously, Tyler Perry said it best. A lot of people's purpose is connected to your dream. So you have to birth it. You got to go hard for it. You never know whose life you can change by your dream.
Thank you. Okay, I think that's it. Do we have questions for this, the Q&A? I don't know who's running. No time for questions. Okay, Milan, thank you. This has been a pleasure. Your story is so impressive, and congratulations. You deserve all the success.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Oh, can I give? I have a bag. I want to get. So this is the Angelou bag, y'all. I just want to give it to somebody in the audience.
Well, how does that get given away?
Do you have an idea?
All right, does anyone have a question? Oh, all right, well, and we're running over, but we
Sorry.
will,
I can just ask a question. What does Milano Di Rouge mean? I saw her, wait, somebody over there. You, yellow shirt?
Jacket.
Okay, yellow jacket. This is your Angelou bag. When you wear it proudly, okay? Know that anything is possible. That is the symbol of hope. Thank you.
Milan and Fern, thank you so much. Yeah. Fern, thank you. Milan, I have an award for you because Milan is our 2025 PFI alumni honoree at FashCon Philly at our first inaugural FashCon Philly. So at the Philadelphia Fashion Incubator, we believe in nurturing visionary talent. And today we are proud to honor one of our most extraordinary alumni, Milan Harris. From launching Milano Di Rouge with a dream and a mission to make luxury attainable, to building a multi-million-dollar streetwear empire that inspires and uplifts, Milan, you are a force. Milan, you are more than a designer. You are a leader, a mentor, a mother, and a role model whose impact reaches far beyond fashion. It is with immense pride that I present this award to you, Milan, a true testament to what happens when purpose meets passion.